Sen. Hawley warns of Biden's SCOTUS picks long record of letting child porn offenders off the hook. Hawley said he is concerned Jackson's record endangers our children. Republican Sen. Josh Hawley posted a lengthy Twitter thread Wednesday containing several examples that he says demonstrates an alarming pattern of lenient treatment of sex offenders who prey on children from Biden Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Judge Jackson has a pattern of letting child porn offenders off the hook for their appalling crimes, both as a judge and as a policymaker, the Missouri Republican tweeted Wednesday. She's been advocating for it since law school. This goes beyond soft on crime. I'm concerned that this is a record that endangers our children. Hawley cited several writings from Jackson's past dating back to her time in law school, including a passage where she wrote that sex offender status can lead to stigmatization and ostracism, and that public policy is driven by a climate of fear, hatred and revenge against sex offenders. It gets worse, Hawley wrote. As a member of the U.S. Sentencing Commission, Judge Jackson advocated for drastic change in how the law treats sex offenders by eliminating the existing mandatory minimum sentences for child porn. Hawley explained how during a February 2012 U.S. Sentencing Commission hearing, Jackson suggested to a witness that some child pornography offenders were possibly less serious offenders because they engaged in child pornography due to motivations that weren't sexual but rather an attempt to be part of a group. I guess my thought is that there are people who get involved with this kind of activity who may not be pedophiles, who may not be necessarily interested really in the child pornography but have other motivations with respect to the use of the technology and the being in the group, and, there are lots of reasons why people might engage in this, Jackson said. And so I'm wondering whether you could say that there could be a less serious child pornography offender who is engaging in the type of conduct in the group experience level because their motivation is the challenge, or to use the technology. Hawley added that Jackson deviated from the federal sentencing guidelines in favor of child porn offenders in every case for which we can find records. In the case of United States v. Hawkins, the sex offender had multiple images of child porn, Hawley tweeted. He was over 18. The sentencing guidelines called for a sentence of up to 10 years. Judge Jackson sentenced the perpetrator to only 3 months in prison. 3 months. Hawley cited several other examples including United States v. Sears and United States v. Savage, where sex offenders convicted of child porn offenses received lenient sentences compared to federal sentencing guidelines. This is a disturbing record for any judge, but especially one nominated to the highest court in the land, Hawley tweeted. Protecting the most vulnerable shouldn't be up for debate. Sending child predators to jail shouldn't be controversial. Hawley called on the Sentencing Commission, which he says has refused to hand over all of Jackson's records, to provide access to all available records. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Fox News. Mike Davis, founder and president of the Article 3 Project, told Fox News that it's pretty clear now why President Biden wants to hide Ketanji Brown Jackson's record on the Sentencing Commission. She will have to explain this disturbing pattern at her hearing, and if her explanation is insufficient, every Democrat who supports her nomination will have to explain their vote, Davis said. Biden nominated Jackson to the Supreme Court in late February, making good on a campaign promise to pick the first black woman for the nation's highest court. Jackson, 51, is a judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia.